Alrighty, folks. We are back in it with another session of our Out of the Abyss campaign. I'm your Dungeon Master, Dungeon Mister, joined by our wonderful players today. If you guys want to say hello, now is your only chance.
Hello there.
Hello! Ooh, got
And
that in quick.
yeah, you gotta get it in while you can. There might never be a second opportunity. Well, we'll find out after. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened last time before we talk about what's going to happen this time. So, last time, you all spent an evening with this fungal drow, Finessus, which was an uneasy one. The plants around seemed to wriggle and move. Having a zombie-like hook horror lurking around didn't help either. The drow mentioned that she had a gift for utilizing some spores to bring life anew to things dead. Even showed some of it off with her dead friend. All of you had actually a pretty good rest in the evening, all things considered, and had several long talks with this woman in the dim light of this place while everyone was sleeping, aside from Fungi and Finessus. Fungi had strange and wonderful visions of the place where you were resting, peaceful and serene, yet alien and twisted. But in the morning, as you were saying your goodbyes, a pair of fungus-covered Dwergar were bringing a Darrow prisoner to the camp. Not wanting any part of this, you stepped away, started weighing out the options of what to do. As you were debating it, you could hear the bones of the Darrow crunching, only to witness it vanish with a loud popping noise. Leaving before anything else got even more weird here. Down this tunnel, you encountered a wall of vines in your way. Not wanting to backtrack and lose precious time, ended up cutting through it with moonlight. Moonlight that stung and revealed Turvey was still under the influence of his were-rat infliction. Knocking him out and escaping the vines, you found yourselves in a grand cavern of mushrooms, other fungal growths dimly lighting the place up. Following the map's awkward directions, came to an edge of the cavern that was cut off by a wide river of flowing sludge or tar-like substance. Too big for most of you to jump. Being about 40 feet wide at its narrowest, you weighed out your options. Figured, well, maybe look for another way. Rincewind eventually spotted a narrow slot in a nearby wall, but also several holes around it, like they were dug by some large creatures. Taking the chance, you inspected inside this 7-foot tall, about 15-foot wide, perfectly cut hole in the cavern wall. A sourceless, low green light lighting up. Unsure how long this tunnel was, you noted even more of these holes within it. Trying to stay away from them, you crept forward. Unfortunately, you still made enough rumblings to wake up whatever was inside these holes. Giant bug-like ant creatures with horrible mandibles that started dripping acid goo from their mouths. Not knowing what to do, you started to run, but quickly realized the entire colony was waking, both behind you and in front of you, giving chase. Absolutely surrounded in this tight space, acid started to get spit around and bites were thrown out towards you, catching Turvy, Fungi, and Chasmos. And that is where we're going to pick up currently. And I'm going to backtrack on something I did last time because it didn't seem very creative and fair of me. I'm going to give Turvy, Chasmus, and Fungi the last damage dealt. But you are still in the maws of these terrible beasts. In this quick motion is Dusk is a little bit ahead of the others. The amulet in your pouch erupts with iridescent and flowing light as that green light around flickers as well. Weller appears nearby. And Weller, as you appear, the last thing you remember, you were atop mushrooms as that incessant buzzing and droning from a creature you've seen long ago. This mosquito-like creature was coming down upon your friends. However, this moment is very different and looks like possibly more deadly for you and your allies. Long hallway filled with holes, and it's cave-like, but it's not cave-like. You would see right next to you Dusk. Behind you, not too far away, would be Rincewind, Cappy, and Rumpadump. A little further behind, you would see Turvy, Chasmus, and Fungi in the grasps of 3 of these large, ant-like creatures. And that is where we're picking up as a whole. What, if anything, is anybody doing? I will say everyone is still up. However, Turvy, Chasmus, and Fungi in the grasp of these creatures. It's like the Star Trek horns. Isn't it?
Very epic, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if I showed you what these creatures are like. You may know them from other stuff. These are Ankegs. There are dozens of them, all about.
Hey, I feel like I'm in Starship Troopers.
Yeah, very much so. In the hive. I mean, this isn't accurate for, like, at all. I just, this is just a picture of the tunnel you're in. What is anyone doing?
All right, so me and Chasmus are up. How much health do we have left then?
I'll say you each have 9. Turvy has 1 still.
Nice of you to join us, Weller.
It seems a bit different than when I left you all.
Do you hear the skittering all around you? Like scissor-like pincers.
That's a new sound. Friends?
As you see them grabbing Chasmus, Turvy, and Fungi and pulling them back.
Ah, not friends. Okay. What's the plan, Dusk? Have you thought of a way out of this one? I take it we need to get our buddies.
I think we need to grab them and go back the way we came. We can't go forward into the unknown.
All right. Are they blocking our path? Would we have to?
Yeah, you would see them coming out of holes in the ceiling and the walls and starting to shamble, skitter towards you. They are you are surrounded.
We need to distract the ones that...
half, 3/4, 2/3.
What?
How far into the tunnel are we by now?
You don't know where it ends, so you don't know.
That's why I recommended going back the way we came.
It's just that, like, at the end, like, what you think might be the end of the tunnel, but it seems like it keeps going. You've gone maybe about 100 feet, maybe actually more now because you guys started running, so you're probably about 100 feet, 150 feet into this tunnel. And it's just this glow at the far end of it. It just doesn't seem to be getting any closer.
All right. Are the in relation to where we are? I know you're saying that we're surrounded. Are the ones that have Chasmus, Turvy, and Fungi? Are they like nearest us, or is it just kind of they're all mixed into?
It'd be kind of like this, like the way you guys are set up on this map, in a way. Not exactly lengthwise, but Turvy, Chasmus, and Fungi got held back as Dusk ran ahead. Rincewind not quite as fast as Dusk in the moment, kind of helping Cappy and Rumpadump.
Gotcha. Okay.
Up. So they're kind of, I would say Rincewind and Cappy and Rumpadump are like in the middle. You and Dusk are like way forward on the other side.
Wait a minute. What changed in the 2 weeks that I was gone that Rincewind is helping Rumpadump?
Not actually helping. He's
Okay. I was
absolutely,
like, man, I've
absolutely
missed something.
not purposefully, just happenstancely helping.
All right. Fair enough.
Would Fungi be able to grab something out of his bag in his state that he's in right now?
Absolutely. What is he going
Alright.
to do with what he's got in his bag?
So I'm going to yell out, "Shut your eyes!" And I'm going to grab all 3 flashbang crystals that I got, and I'm going to throw them just right into the middle of all these creatures around us. Hopefully that stun them or shock them to letting us go and giving us a chance to make a break for it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me throwing and trying to reach these flashbangs. I want to say a dex check, so probably sleight of hand or possibly athletics.
I'll go athletics.
Unless you got some better idea of what skill that would use. As Patch is giving Fungi Watcher's Inspiration. So Fungi, you have a D6 that you can use anytime in this session once. Thanks,
Nice.
Patch.
Thanks, Patch.
Well, I'm best at athletics.
All right, so trying to shove your hand in, grabbing the flashbangs out of your the crystals that you collected out of your pack, and trying
See
to
how it
launch
goes.
them to a most convenient point with a 15.
And before I use that extra, well, no, I want to make sure this works. I'm going to use that D6 right now. I want to make 16.
All right, with a 16, as you try and throw them around, and everyone in the immediate vicinity, because they're not stretching forever, I would say the ones around you would drop you, all 3 of you guys, and just start kind of chittering as they have released you and seem to be kind of like mandible biting just at air. It's almost like going through a parking lot with a bunch of trailer hitches, but they're mandibles instead.
That's terrible.
As they drop Casmus Turvey and Fungi around that, you say the rest of you guys would see that bright flash of light on the end of the other side where you came from. As the nearby ones, some of them are half in holes, some of them are fully emerged. The ones that are fully emerged seem to be kind of walking in circles a little bit in this brief moment. What's everyone else doing to try to help your escape?
So I'm going to go ahead and start heading back to the group, to the guys that were just dropped, just trying to close ranks a little bit. And along the way, I want to take a look at these holes that are in the ground. Like, how wide are they? And is there any sort of depth I can discern?
Easily. So you're looking for a way out?
Oh yeah.
Give me your call. Perception, survival, or investigation? To try and discern if any of these holes has enough depth to it.
Are you sure you don't want me to try to intimidate the hole? Because that would probably be better.
I mean,
let's see. I'm gonna go with.
I'm going to do you a favor and not comment on that. You're welcome.
Let me just go with perception.
Okay. Trying to, as you're running by, trying to look through these holes to see if any of them are deep enough, or where direction, what have you. Now, you are currently on Whisper.
Oh, I am on Whisper.
But that's my fault because I was playing around with it. You got a 7. As you're looking into one, you would see an Ankeg reach out of it from the darkness within, I will need a dexterity save from Weller. Running back to join the group, looking in one of these holes just to try and see where it goes. One of these Ankegs just tries to bite out at you and just like barely misses, kind of ripping a bit of your cape as it grasps you. What is everyone else doing?
So, as Dusk makes his way back following Weller, the Ankegs that are, I guess, now behind him as he's moving back,
Sure.
going to try something he's never tried before. So, through dawn, he is going to attempt to focus a starry wisp at one of the nearby Ankegs in an attempt to illuminate it, hoping as they are bugs, they might be attracted to it, distracted by it, or what have you.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna say this sounds like a deception,
Ugh.
but I will allow you to add your wisdom modifier to it, because Starry Wisp.
Okay. So that I'll go ahead and make a deception.
Trying to distract them with a little bit of starry light.
Let me make sure everything's set right here. Hold on.
It's more like a little ball of fun sunlight radiating around.
While he's doing that, can you just... I'm looking through the notes. I'm trying to find it a little quicker to ask you. How wide is this area that we're in?
15 foot wide, 7 feet tall.
Perfect.
That's going to be a 14. Well, it would be a 15 if you will say he's using... No, hold on.
I wouldn't say proficiency, but I will say
11 plus
adding
4,
your
15.
wisdom.
15.
Okay. With a 15, you illuminate one of these bugs as the soft, warm sunlight apparates around it. You would see another one just start to pincer towards it, and another kind of comes up from underneath it, tackling it to the ceiling, pinning it there. And you get away to meet up with the others as there's some semi-blinded ones. They're starting to come out of their stupor. These ones behind you now seem to be latching on to a secondary creature that is just this light glow constantly emitting from it.
So, quick question. I still have that bag of fur balls, right?
I hope somebody does.
Yeah, Weller had it.
Okay.
Yeah, Weller
It
did
wasn't in
have it.
anybody's inventory. I meant to ask about it.
No, Weller did take them when we had a conversation about how
Yeah,
they would
because I
be
used
useful.
one, and it was
Right.
The rat.
Right.
That's
Can't remember
right.
what I named him. Just say he was Rat-a-tat. How many of those could I throw at a time? Was it a bag of 3?
Well, it's a bag of 3. Normally in an action you can pull out 1, but this is some dire circumstances. Maybe you need to pull out all 3. I don't care.
Okay.
You tell me.
Yeah, let me
And
pull
what
out
are you
all
hoping
3.
to do with them?
So, kind of a couple things back to back. What I would like to do is we're running to this group to catch up with them. Is take all 3 and kind of toss them over in this direction in an attempt to distract those.
So
If that
essentially,
is-
this hall is 15 feet wide. So it's more like these guys are coming out of like the ground and stuff, and the walls, and the hallway is more like that, if that makes sense.
It's probably a lot like your basement.
We're in a glass.
Yes,
Glass
you're
half full.
in a glass.
Okay, I want to toss them in whatever general direction I need to try to distract them as we continue to run back the way we came, like Dusk said. And then, if that is successful, what I would like to do is
That
oh, look at that.
the hall.
Playing with my new darkness thing that I've got. I can cast the spell on an object that isn't being worn or carried. So I could pick up something off the ground, cast darkness, and then it would have a 15-foot radius
Yeah.
of darkness. Okay. I want to try to, if we're able to distract these guys and kind of have a clearance to run away, drop that like kind of a wall of darkness as we're running.
Okay, we'll pin that for a second. What are Casmus and Rincewind doing? And feel free to use Cappy, Rumpadump, or Turvy if you feel like they would be helpful in any of these scenarios. At the moment, you've essentially freed here and distracted the back half. These guys on the way you're going do seem to be active, and there's rumblings all around as you can kind of see within some of these holes that, like the one Weller looked in, that they are about to be protruding from.
So I guess I am going to I'm going to cast or triple cast Thaumaturgy. And I'm going to throw my voice far back behind us as we can. And I'm going to make it as loud as I can. And I'm going to make the earth shake. And I'm going to let out the weirdest roar that I can come up with on the spot.
The direction that you guys are heading backwards now? So you're throwing it in the direction where these guys are distracted?
Yeah. Right. So
Okay,
I mean,
gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know where more creatures are. If they're in front of us or behind us.
I would say
but
they're
I
all
know
over.
which way we're
Yeah,
going.
I was just
and
curious.
I know which way.
Are you
Like you're trying to herd them away from us.
Are you trying
or scare 'em.
You're trying to scare them?
Well, like get their attention at the very least, because they've got the animals that are coming out. They've got us to deal with, and now they're going to have this huge roaring creature possibly behind them.
We put the pin on the animals.
Throwing chaos into the mix.
All right, so trying to go ahead and give me an intimidation check, and I'll also allow you to add wisdom.
Okay.
Instead of charisma.
Okay.
As you guys would hear this loud, unearthly roar echo out from the opposite direction.
So 15.
With the 15, that is the current DC. Hearing that, as there's this light shaking around when it happens, you start to see some of them start to skitter back into their holes, almost afraid to come out. The others kind of blocking your path here burrow back in fear. Still visible, almost clearing a path in this brief moment. In this brief moment.
I was gonna say, are you waiting on us, or
Yep.
are we waiting on you?
Yep. You got a brief moment of
Well,
an open tunnel.
I'd say we beat feet.
But good.
Dash.
As
Yeah.
you start
And-
to
Dash.
book
Whoever
it.
I can scoop up on the way, I'm grabbing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
As you start to book it out of this slot in the wall, kind of sliding out, climbing down that cliff face. It was like about 10 or 15 feet up to get down to it. I think it was 10 feet up. So it's an easy slide, cool slide down into the large cavern. And you can see that in this large cavern where you had seen holes previously, there are still holes there, and out of them are starting to pop up little bit by little bit some of these Ankegs, testing their luck. They weren't in the cavern and didn't hear the roar. Where are you headed, and what are you doing on your way there? You're out of the slot back into a fungal forest. I mean, I do have a great picture, but it's not for this. Of fungal forest.
Has anybody got a can of hairspray and a lighter?
Go back to
I
this.
got. Could I? Would it work if I cast a moonbeam ahead of us and just kept it in front of us as we kind of like ran behind it, and as it's going to try and like, ideally, like as it might hit them, they might like try and scurry back into their holes, so we can keep
We could
clear
twin
path.
cast it behind us to like drop 2 beams down so it burns.
Kind of like
If
having
we
a
can
having
get,
a tail.
If we can get out in front of them, we can like set up a wall of moonbeam at the mouth of the tunnel.
Well, they're not just coming out of that tunnel. They're coming out all over this vast cavern. So, for example,
what's
like here, you would see here's the cave, the tunnel that you came out of, where that Ankeg is. They're popping up all over the place.
By the way, there's 2 Casmus. I don't know why.
Well, I don't see the first one. That's why. Oh, he's under some hidden tokens. Couch and Tiger hidden token.
Okay, that's my move.
But you would see them kind of popping up in the various holes. They're not as centrally located as they were in that tunnel. Which, out of the tunnel, it seems like none of them are following at this moment. They might eventually. So where are you headed? And what do you want to do as you're heading there? Are you trying to carve a path with moonbeams? Are you trying to leave that tail with moonbeams? And if so, what is the purpose?
we definitely want one in front of us. So
we
get
can
all the way
only
up there.
go so fast though, because the moonbeam can only go so far. So
Yeah, I think we can only move it 30 feet per turn. If we're not
Yeah,
doing this in
and
turns,
don't
it's the same
even
thing.
think about it in terms
Not
of turns.
dashing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
But
even
the point is that-
don't even think about dashing. But I know what you're saying. Like, you guys are, where are you running first? What's your destination? How about that? We'll start with that one.
I mean, we're probably the only place that we really know that we've been is at the Tar.
And let's head back to the tar.
Running towards the tar.
But I don't. Oh, man, that's the only other place that we know of in this area, because it seems like we've just been going down one continuous path the entire way.
Well, as you have the moonbeams up, I want to try something a little anime.
I'm all for anime. I watch it.
All right, so
Sometimes too much chibi stuff, so stay away from that.
right. Oh, we're all chibi.
No.
All right,
hate
so as we as the moonbeams are beginning to manifest and all that, Dusk wants to use his stunning strike, but what he wants to do is find an area of loose ground nearby, and he wants to use his stunning strike onto the ground to create a large vibration, knowing that these things tend to be attracted to such things, to give us more breathing room to move away.
Okay.
Attract them in all in one spot.
Are-
Cool 2-finger strike into a
I gotcha.
crack in the ground.
Are
Yeah.
Casmus and Weller doing anything to aid this run towards the tar? And this distracting / intimidating maneuver? Or
Casper is
persuade?
gonna wait. Casper's gonna wait, and if it works and they're all going into one spot, he's gonna wait for Dust to be away, and he's gonna throw a fireball.
So
at all of them.
I will say, what are you helping with this endeavor particularly? If you're just waiting, then we're skipping.
He's just
it.
waiting. He's just waiting for now. He doesn't have anything he can help
I
with.
wonder if these mushrooms are super flammable.
What?
Well, can I throw in then while we have the moonbeam cow plow effectively in front of us, that any of us that have arrows or ranged spells lay down covering fire or on the sides? Because I'm thinking if I'm going forward with my moonbeam, I got to produce flames just making fireballs
Just tossing.
fucking wildly. If we can get eldritch blasts and arrows and everything going all around us, just again, anything to clear our way and keep things from our sides and anything that we can.
Well, I would
Don't
definitely
even
think
bother
if we-
aiming.
if you guys have fireball, anything of fire, torches, whatever. I mean, if these mushrooms are flammable, if we cause a fire in this room,
You've
can't
seen
imagine
some
that these-
explode.
I was gonna say I can't imagine that these animals would be curious and poking their heads out, and be like, "Oh, let's go fuck with these guys." Probably like, "Holy shit, our house is on fire." I don't know if I have anything flammable.
So currently, your objective is to make your way to the tar, and we've got 2 moonbeams charging forward. We got a pinstrike of. I'm gonna make you spend key points on that, or focus points.
Oh yeah. I expected to.
Are Casmus and Weller doing anything to help out with either of these 2 kind of things to help your push forward? The distracting / intimidating presence.
I mean, I'll go ahead and use cantrip, dancing lights.
Okay, just trying to like flit about and enhance that moonlight, kind of.
Yep.
Okay.
Casper's just gonna be on the side and using burning hands to at least keep them away.
Okay. What I would like everyone to do is it will be your choice: intimidation, persuasion, or deception check, and how you're using it. And I will allow. It's all spell stuff, so it's going to be all of your, instead of charisma, except for Weller, his spell is charisma, same thing as Casmus. I will allow your wisdom modifiers for, I think, all 3 of you guys. Rincewind, Fungi, and Dusk. As you're essentially this like charging moonbeam led fire breath, like in the tail, in case they draw up on you, and this kind of dust kind of distracts out to the side there.
I have no preference over which skill is rolled because I have the same in all of them. So,
Yeah. Intimidation, it seems like it is.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know we all
intimidation
had to roll the
sounds
same
good.
one. Sorry.
Do
No,
we-
you don't.
we all have
You
to-
don't. You don't have to roll.
Oh,
the same.
okay,
Okay.
okay. That's why I went ahead and
Yeah,
picked,
that's
sorry.
why it's y'all's choice.
So what were they in again? Intimidation.
Deception or persuasion.
Oh,
Because essentially that's what you guys are doing with these moonbeams, kind of intimidating them away or pushing them back.
Ugh.
And with the fire spray around, same thing. And with the dancing lights kind of enhancing that. 2 nat 1. No, only 1 nat 1. The other's a 2.
On top of mine,
So you
you
got-
see, I want to throw a knowledge of the past life in there, so
I see that.
mine should add up to 21.
We got a 21, a 23, a 15. What is your wisdom, Rincewind?
4.
So it would be a 6 and a nat 1. With that, tell you what, Rincewind, roll for Turvy. What is to the tiebreaker here? Is Turvy doing anything to help out with this?
Turvey's in rat form right now, right?
He is. He
Uh,
still has all of his normal stuff.
oh man, I don't know. I think as a rat,
Still prone for survival.
yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what Turvey's doing. I guess he'll throw out a few snaps, or I don't know. Uh, I'm guessing Turvey would be trying to hide.
Okay. I mean, he could even be
so-
using that blur to try and like supercharge it to converge around all of you guys.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm trying to see what his innate spellcasting is. Okay, yeah.
It's intelligence. It's intelligence.
Yeah.
It's not great.
No,
pretty
it's
much
not.
Pretty much it would be a straight roll.
So yeah.
That's this.
Do you want me to just roll intelligence?
Just roll an intelligence.
Okay.
An 8. As you're all trying to charge, and you do plow them away from you, but they are right on your heels as you approach, and are quickly approaching up this hill towards this tar pit. That is this slow flowing, sludgy, brownish gray mass with bones sticking out of it, bubbling up every now and then. You can even see faint bits of steam, as you do still have a bunch of these Ankegs behind you, you kind of still have those moonbeams trying to keep them at bay this brief moment, but they are right on your heels. And actually with that,
Did the fur balls ever
no,
proc?
we did not pull them out yet. I said hold the button on that one. To try and give everyone a chance to do something in that moment. So you have the furballs now, but now you are also faced with a tar pit in front of you, Ankegs behind you. You got your moonbeams kind of still active, trying to keep them at bay, but they are chittering and snapping closer towards you, and there's a bunch of them.
So as we continue to beat feet, and you said the tar pit is directly in front of us, can we angle our retreat so that the tar pit becomes perpendicular to us and the pursuing Ankegs?
We're just going to use this here. I'm going to go black and brown, brown and gray. So you're trying to approach it like
angle off so that it becomes perpendicular to us,
like that.
the Ankegs.
Like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. To what end?
So what I want to do, hopefully this stuff is pretty volatile. I want to throw an alchemist's fire in with the goal of hoping to cause some of the tar to bubble up, explode, off, creating a bit of tar between us and the pursuing Ankegs.
So there wouldn't be, it's just a river. So it's not super straight, but it is pretty straight. You still have the river in front of you. You're setting the river on fire in front of you?
River of tar, yeah.
So then you'd be stuck between a river of fire and the Ankegs?
Okay, maybe I'm not understanding the layout. Never mind.
So we'll say it's
Cornered
like
ourselves.
Is it
For
just
example.
cut off? Like there's no way to run along with the river. There's just that's
the
just, like, cut
river
off by the
runs
funnel?
into a wall.
Oh, okay.
So it's like that. Going between two walls.
in the width of said river?
The shortest width at a couple of points is about 40 feet. Yeah, if this makes sense.
You all have encountered this Tar River before, huh?
How far away are the?
They're all around you. They are back to swarming size again. As there's a couple of moonbeams being lit by both Rincewind and Fungi at this time. Kind of, that's what's keeping them at bay for now. Yeah, because remember when you guys encountered the tar before, you could see it kind of flowing out of a wall like a slow waterfall flowing down, and you can see it kind of disappear underneath another side.
So there is ground 40 feet on the other side, right?
Yeah, absolutely. At some points, other points it's like 60, but I would say average is about 45.
And those big mushroom, or there's just small mushrooms?
There's mushrooms everywhere. Big ones, small ones, ushy gushy wishy ones.
Because what I was thinking is cutting down one of a big one and using it as a raft.
I was gonna say, yeah, can we just cut the heads off of these mushrooms and like make fucking lily pads? Just leapfrog across the Star River? I mean, obviously they're not gonna.
Why not? Yeah,
very long,
you
but
tell
I mean,
me, can you? Who's chopping down these mushrooms and how so?
Hey, fucking Weller is breaking out the old glave and going to town.
Breaking out the glaive. Weller, give me an athletics check as you're trying to chop down one of these mushrooms.
I was gonna say I clicked it. Where'd it go?
Click it better.
Yeah, right.
With an 11.
Second win.
Yes. Let's see it. Roll the d10.
All right.
As you're not making good speed, put your back into it with a 15. Weller, I will need a dexterity saving throw. As a couple of them are starting to spray acid at you, what actually inadvertently helps you.
Yep. Ignore that.
You're good. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're just taking off the tick marks.
Taking one of the checks away.
Yeah.
You said dexterity saving throw?
Yes, please. As you approach one of these mushrooms, kind of getting away from the groups just slightly. No sweat at all. You will take 8 points of acid damage, but it does inadvertently actually help you cut down this large, not tree, but you know, the mushroom. As the large mushroom stretches across. I don't know, pretend that's a mushroom.
Well, I'm trying to take 8 away, and it's taking all of my hit points away.
Well, don't do that.
Yeah.
You're dead.
As a loud splash splashes into the tar as it slowly starts sinking. It's lit, or it's lit. It's above.
lit.
It's lit, fam. It is above the waters, well, the sludge in this brief moment.
Ooh. My character sheet is loading? I don't know what it's doing. I'll take that 8 away at some point.
Yeah, what browser are you using?
Chrome.
Get on Firefox.
Shit.
It works better is all.
It really does.
But I'll look into it here in a second. On
Speed
kegs.
across the mushroom, and you guys use the moonbeams to burn it away as we head across.
Burning away the mushroom.
Yeah, behind us. What do y'all think?
That you still want to burn in the river once we're across?
I don't know if that'll be necessary if they don't have anything to use to cross it.
Well,
They
are
can
we?
climb too.
If we
I was
climb
saying use the
onto,
moonbeam to burn away the mushroom as we
Gotcha.
cross it.
So they can't cross behind us.
Correct.
I gotcha.
All I'm saying is if one of these guys just walks across the tar pit, no problem.
They just
We're
skitter
making a
across it like
saddle.
those water running lizards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're-
Well, if they
we're
start
making-
to do that,
We're making a saddle.
We can, yeah.
All right. So as you start to cross, I would want everyone to give me an acrobatics check. And this will include
one.
Turvy.
Just do it the old-fashioned. You said acrobatic.
Yes,
That's
please.
my sheet now that it's working.
I will need Weller and Turvy and Casmus to give me a Constitution save.
Great.
As you're running across it, that your feet just slip a little bit, touching into that burning sensation on your feet as you just touch the tar ever so slightly.
Turvy got a 19.
Turvy got a 19? I thought I saw a...
Oh, Turvy's
you're
got a
right.
19.
You're right. You're right. I might have been reading Casmus at the time. So yeah, it's just Casmus and Weller. As Casmus, you take 8 points of damage. Acid damage. And it starts melting you, and it is starting to melt this mushroom. You all do make it across and press your moonbeams down onto the edge of that mushroom. Some of them try to clamber across, but as they do, they're immediately sunken into it. You hear this insectoid screaming and chittering as they are quickly sunk into this. And it almost seems as if the tar is reaching over them, trying to actively pull them down. And there's this moment. You look back and you see not necessarily a wall of these onkegs, but you would see a good 10 or so skittering around the tar, looking towards you for another way to cross. You would see one of them kind of like burrow into the wall. They're not super fast burrowers, but they are burrowing. They're actually very slow burrows. But there's this moment where you feel a sense of safety as you look across this tar river. Is there anything you're doing before, or are you just running?
Yeah, let's keep moving. Try to get out of their sight.
As we are, just and maybe 'cause I haven't been here before. Could you just tell me a little bit about the environment? I mean,
So you're running through a jungle of this moist, cold, dimly lit fungal cavern. The ceiling not in sight, but you would see plenty of mushrooms and all sorts of fungal growths all over the place. Sickly looking, decrepit. And you're kind of going into this smaller cavern from that big cave. And in this smaller cavern, not as many mushrooms about, but you would still see a couple here and there dotting up, lighting the place, and little patches of the kind of smaller, whitish, pale mushrooms about.
the cavern that we're going to, is it basically what I'm looking for is there a fatal funnel? Is there an area that we're passing through that narrows to the point where what I'm wondering is if I'm grabbing up moss growth, stuff like that, just kind of as we're running, stuff that looks familiar to me that doesn't look like the kind that explodes. If I could lay some down, if we get to a point that's narrow enough for one of these guys to light on fire, to just kind of create a blockade, put a barrier between us and these things.
I would say there's not that much moss and stuff
Okay.
to do so, but you do know these creatures burrow.
Burrow, yeah.
Not as fast as they can skitter across, but they do burrow. I would say there's the occasional bit of lichen and fungus and moss about, but it's not rampant in this smaller cave, as it does narrow to be about like maybe 20 feet in some portions. The cave ceiling in here goes between 15 and 40 feet tall in different spaces. The rock here is absent of any nutrients. Just pale gray shale.
All right, well, we have to figure that these things are coming after us. What's the plan? Obviously, they can go through the floor and through the walls. We've either got to keep moving or figure out a way to defend ourselves. And or both.
I mean, we got some distance. I probably should keep this distance and just keep running.
Yeah. The best defense seems to be distance. I don't know how far they're going to track us.
The cavern that we're going into, do we see any of the holes from where we left before? Like, have they burrowed in here before?
I would say give me a perception check as you're looking about on the ceiling, the floors, and the walls. Classic perception.
I perceive that I don't see my character sheet open anywhere.
Might need a reload.
Again. All right, let me try to reconnect real quick.
Or you can just roll a d20.
Let's see if I can bring old Weller back up. Here he is. All right. Perception. Not the greatest.
Look
Log
around.
standard. Right in the middle.
Think for a moment you see one, and no, it's just like the way the rocks are curved and the way the light, low light from some of the fungus around is lighting up this cave. You don't think you see any.
Are we on a path that these guys have gone before, or is this new?
This is new, and the
Okay.
way kind of similar in the direction that the map wanted to take you to get to Neverlight Grove.
Okay.
What?
Well, yeah. If y'all's plan is we keep moving.
Keep moving till our feet give out.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, if we get to the point where we're being pursued again, as long as we can try to stay ahead of these things, I can drop darkness. I got fur balls. We got ideas.
No fireballs.
I mean, I need a rest. So
I don't know if here's the place to do
No.
it.
doesn't matter. I'm going to need one eventually. I got hit hardest there. So
Does anybody have any healing potions?
I got some healing words. So I can. Wait, let's let's cast a few. Give some help. So let's give one of these to Rincewind. Oops, ignore that one. Or no, never mind.
Why ignore
I
that?
thought I upcast it, but it's because I thought I upcast it by accident, but
Gotcha.
it's not. Now healing word is now a 2d4.
It is.
Yeah, so that's pretty sweet.
Heals are great.
Yeah. Who else is looking pretty murky?
Cadmus.
Cadmus is sitting there at 1. As you see that singeing on his foot.
Yeah.
Actually,
Fuck the singeing. He's sitting at 1. He's looking more fucked up than that.
Well, yeah, he also has like acid all over him from being.
Acid, blood pouring out of every
Yeah,
orifice,
he's-
and also singeing.
He's not looking healthy.
So 9.
Yeah. You get
Yep,
9
you got a
damage.
9. And somewhere, I think I still have. Yep, and I have my other second wind for myself.
All right. Getting yourself some 8 hit points.
The hell you doing with second wind there, son?
He's got one
One level
of
fighter so far.
For a long time.
Creeping up
Yeah.
on my second wind. More the merrier.
Next few levels are going to be more fighter.
Wait till he gets action surge.
Next level.
Oh
baby.
yeah. High five. Let's actually
The
switch
neck.
it up.
But
Backup tank.
getting a few heals on, continuing your journey until you feel you're at least at a safe distance to take a breather. Spending maybe the next few hours before you can get like a short break in. Every time you like turn the corner and think you see one of these creatures, just from that that experience you all just went through. And yeah, after a few hours of travel, come to a space you feel like you can take a little breather, a short rest, if you will. Because again, remember this happened like maybe an hour or so after you woke up, maybe 2.
Can I, just for shits and gigs, being that I'm from down here, can I give you like a survival or something to see if I know what those things are and how much I know about them? Like if they have weaknesses or anything like that?
It would be a nature check for the knowledge
Nature?
aspect, yeah.
I'll do it.
Can I help him with it?
You can roll your own
There's
nature
another.
check.
Sure.
You can
Nope.
roll your own damn nature
I would say
check.
with knowledges, it's not a help action kind of thing. You know, Weller,
Thanks
you kind
for-
of think about it like
I don't know
I don't know
shit.
what those things were. But Fungi, you oddly enough know that they're both subterranean and on the surface creatures known as onkegs. Definitely territorial and voracious eaters, eating crops, eating anything that moves. Their acid breaks down almost anything. And you've never seen that many before. Must be some sort of hive down here.
If I understand them to be territorial, do I get a better feeling that they might not be chasing us at any more of a distance if we've gotten away from their
I would say once you figure
territory?
you cover a safe distance, yeah, you feel safe that you haven't. They're not going to come after you this far, probably.
I think we can take a break. They shouldn't be coming any further than this. I don't
Circle the wagons.
even breathe. Why am I out of breath?
And as you're kind of taking this moment, Irvi tries to do some meditations, and you would see his were-rat form dissipate. As he does eye Casmus, or not Casmus, Dusk a little. While he's transforming back down into his deep gnomish form. And then kind of shakes his head. It was real weird. Lots of stuff down here. Gotta be somewhere safe, right?
I don't think there's any place safe down here.
It's almost like I've been telling you guys all along.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like at least a few of you all need to take a bit of a breather.
I definitely do.
We can find somewhere relatively safe, kind of circle the wagons a little bit. I'm fine. Standing guard, kind of keeping a lookout.
I'd say you feel like you found a little nook out of the way of this major cave.
Would you say we found a cranny?
You found several crannies. Only one nook.
All right.
And yeah, you guys can get a short rest on.
Let those hit dice fly, baby.
Is there anything you'd like to do or discuss as you're taking this little breather, knowing you still have a journey ahead of you?
Supposed to roll 2. And then my fighter dice.
I would look towards Dusk and say just to the group in general, does anyone know why that keeps happening? Kind of pointing towards his. You said the amulet was in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
I would say
pointing
you're
towards
wearing it
the-
now.
to the bag. I'm wearing it. Okay.
Yeah, you come out wearing it.
All right. I would point to the amulet around my neck.
Nope.
Do we even know what in the hell this thing is? It's the second time that it's happened to me.
Never looked at it.
You have not.
Well, I will happily hand it over to anyone that wants to investigate it, considering I don't necessarily want it on me with the fact that I keep getting sucked into it.
It's like a red and blue swirled crystal. Not perfect by any means, not even a cut gem, but natural forming.
I suppose to take it out and just look at it, examine it more in detail, if they can figure out what the hell it is exactly.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Nope.
You've never seen any gem like this before. It's perplexing. But
Not
if
sure.
you remember, when you first saw the guy wearing it, this deep dwarf, Rincewind did recognize it.
The gem?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It was like 15 sessions ago at this point.
Rincewind, if you want to check it out, because it did suck that guy into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen him since, so we kind of need to know if this sucks me into it again. Am I not going to come back?
12 sessions ago.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to decide if that's a good thing or not still, so give me a second.
Breaking my heart.
I mean, yeah, I'll take a look at it, and I mean, I'm not looking to be sucked into anything either, but okay, yeah.
Rincewind, you can give me an Arcana check with advantage. We'll say there are some aspects that you automatically recognize about it. With a 25.
Woo!
So it is indeed one single stone with a little bit of a swirl of red and blue, almost like a sapphire and a ruby combined, but it's neither. It's actually not even a gem. It's just stone. Somehow giving off that appearance. This is purely Fairzus infused rock. Much like the one that you took off of that giant. And it loosely hums in your hand as you look it over. Almost as if it's
Okay.
calling to you.
I was gonna say, is that unique to him? It's only hummed in his hand.
Yep.
Rincewind, that's yours now.
It's not unlike when you saw the obelisk.
With the shard
Yep.
that I found. Oh, okay. Well,
Weller kind of very quickly says, all those in favor of Rincewind keeping that, raise your hand, and then just decides for the group. Yep, all right, looks unanimous.
so so the thing that kind of makes the magic goes wonky, I get to hold on to that. Okay, I'll hold on to that.
And with the condition that you keep it away from me.
Oh, okay. I don't quite know how to take that, but you know what?
Hey man, I've been
See what
sucked
happens
into it
if you
twice.
disappear again. How about that? What? Wonder where the stone's gonna end up then.
Back in a tar pit on fire.
Dusk
I mean,
is
if you-
secretly planning to put it on Weller when he's sleeping.
I mean, if you really want to destroy it, we've got a tar pit and we can just
It's
burn
a
it
few
to the
miles
ground.
back.
I don't think we want to head back
No.
that way, and I don't know if we need to destroy it. I'm just not a fan of the whole being sucked into it thing, you know.
Well, I'm not either, but I'm not exactly sure. You know, if it's something that we want to hold on to. I mean, if like it seems like whenever we're in the Fairzus, it feels like there's a risk involved in any kind of spells that we may cast, and this thing just kind of hums with it. You know what I'm saying? So, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know, but I mean, if you want me to hold on to it, I will.
Does it strike any of us as odd, both for those of us that are from here and for those of us, obviously, we've traveled around this dust enough?
Mm-hmm.
Is it odd that the stone that it itself is infused with the Fair's dust, and or is that just like a totally normal thing for down here?
It doesn't happen to this degree. I would say you've never heard of it being that severe. You've obviously seen several areas infused with it, almost like the Underdark itself, not necessarily the stones within it. But yeah, I would say it's not common by any means. And you've probably never heard of anything like this before.
No, but I did hear about a dude that owned a junkyard that gave his son a little plumb bob as a good luck charm, and it gave his balls cancer because it was actually a radioactive plug.
I did hear about that. Yeah, that's a true thing that happened.
So there's that in the
Or
back
it was
of my
an
mind.
episode of House.
It was an episode
I
of
remember that one.
Exactly.
I just rewatched that show.
Turvio kind of piped
No,
in.
but nobody jumped in. I was like, okay,
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't real.
So I'm not really just feeling the tingle
Yeah.
in my hands, you know?
Well, I mean, if you're worried about gems, stones, I mean, a lot of rock cutters in Blingdenstone. If that's something... We're still heading there, yeah?
I mean, I don't know. We keep going deeper. So maybe. I mean,
If we can ever actually figure out how to work this thing, it could actually be really helpful. I mean, the idea that one of us was really hurt, we could maybe carry somebody in it, or
Kind of in like a stasis.
something else.
For the guy that's
I
been
mean, I
in
know
it, like time just stops. So you don't really go anywhere. Nothing
Yeah.
really happens to you.
I've been in it too. Right. Nothing.
Yeah, it's not necessarily inherently evil.
But we have to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
We
Maybe
can
we
spend
keep it for
time.
now and spend some time with it.
I
I
think
don't know.
so.
Maybe it's as simple as your patron has to go out of town on business or something.
It's weird how that coincides.
Well, um. So yeah, I'll hold on to this thing and give it a little study and see if we can figure out how it works. And you're right. Maybe it is something that can, help us out in a pinch. But I mean, truth be told, I'm a little weary. Because it just does feel like a little dangerous.
Well, hey man, it hummed when you took it, so it likes you.
Oh, okay. So okay, it was a friendly hum. Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, I mean it did. Like Dawn. Took some time for Dawn to open up to dusk. Maybe this thing will take some time to open up to you.
Yep.
Everything sucks down here, but like not everything is evil down here.
Okay. I mean, that's you know, okay. I mean, present company excluded, obviously. So
I see how it is. I go in the
I,
necklace for a
well,
couple
I
weeks.
mean, I'm just saying, I wasn't spending any time in a tabaxi prison.
Oh, yeah, well, I see how quickly you all
The,
replaced me with another drow.
well,
I have to come back and hear tales of this other drow that you all were
They didn't
seeing
tell
while I
you
was
about
trapped
that
in the
yet.
necklace. Well, I have
Yeah.
some sort of knowledge of another drow. I hear things when I'm in the stone prison. Okay.
yeah.
All right, but yeah, I think short rest is about over, right, guys?
Yeah. You guys finish your short rest and look onward through the caverns. Occasionally, as you're traveling, let's say for this portion, I want everyone to give me a survival check. Big Nat 1.
Yeah, you know what? I'm still sitting on heroic inspiration, and
Well, it goes
I don't
away
like
on a
that
long
one.
rest.
Oh, does it?
It
Have I
does.
had a long rest?
I
Did we
don't
have a
know
long
when you
rest?
got it. No, you got it because of the moonbeam thing, so you still have it.
Okay.
Totally gonna
Let's get rid of
meta-
that nat one, hopefully.
totally gonna metagame for a second, but the survival check is coming after the short rest.
Yes.
All right.
And it is essentially your next few days travel. So we'll determine stuff.
I just clicked the short rest button for the first time.
It opens up a little window.
Yeah.
At the bottom, you'll see the diamonds. Those are your hit dice that you can spend. Essentially, you
Gotcha.
guys are getting a long rest even between now. So you can hit that and you can hit the long rest button. But throughout this journey, the next few days, little pockets of their own ecosystem of fungus, little streams and pools every now and then, even some sources of not quite rivers of lava, but occasional cracks of warmth, keeping that the subterranean heat that provides life for many mushrooms in a opposite sort of way. All of them are kind of dried out there, but other times passing through forests of giant zirkwood trees, small little sporadic mushrooms. Some of them seem to be moving. Sometimes the large mushrooms seem to be moving. You look back and like, no, it's just a trick of your mind. Spores occasionally filling it like mist as you're traversing this place. After a couple of days' journey, I do need Dusk and Weller to give me a Constitution save. "19 from Weller. 11 from Dusk. Dusk, you get pretty tired, but not to the point of exhaustion as you felt like at first, like maybe this was like, yeah, kind of close to home, jungles, but it's much more than that, kind of pricking yourself on odd thorns and little bits of some of the branches or the stalks of these mushrooms end up kind of getting squishy. You lose your footing. It is not an enjoyable time. Weller just plain used to the how it is down here. Eventually following a series of tunnels and caves. Feel like you might have arrived at your destination. You can see pale cream and beige stalks start to grow thick and tall, resembling a surface world forest, much like you have seen before. This is all of the stalks are pale. Fungi grow in profusion everywhere, and there's nothing resembling anything like a path in front of you or between these giant caps of Zerkwood mushrooms obscuring your view of most of the cavern's ceiling. But you do see luminescent fungi giving off a shimmering aura each step you take. Soggy ground, rank scent of decay rises around you, and you can see this place isn't death, it's teeming with life. Several of these mushrooms aren't mushrooms in front of you, they're actually humanoid shape. Some of them are small, like keeping together, like Rumpadump stool. Others are massive, like the ones you've seen, almost humanoid size, maybe a little bit taller, a little bit wider. You can see a tiered area ahead of you, a low pool in front. You can see a large circular mound by this pool at the edge of this wilderness-like area, still kind of inside of them. Along the circle, you would see standing a series of these myconids. And yes, everyone hit that long rest button by this point. Bring you to here. This is kind of the vision in front of you. As you finally arrived at Neverlight Grove. And as you have arrived, there'll be a good spot for us to take our little 5-10 minute break here real quick before we get into what happens at the Grove. Stays at the Grove. There may or may not be a smoking caterpillar in here.
They're freaky down here.
Watch later to find out. But yeah, we'll take a little 5-10 minute break here, folks, as we delve into Neverlight Grove. So we'll be back.
Yeah. Sounds like a Diddy party.
Oh no. There's so
Alrighty, folks. We are back in it. And last we left off, after escaping a horde of Ankegs across a river of tar after stumbling into their lair, spent the better part of the next couple of days traversing this occasional fungal forest or terrain. Coming to a larger cavern, like many you had been in before, but this one absolutely filled to the brim with funguses. Can't even see the ceiling in here, and what you think are stalactites hanging down are actually just bits of mold and moss from the tops of several of these much larger Zirkwood trees. You would see a tier of multi-tiered kind of like maybe irrigation or something, as some water flows down into this pond ahead of you. But as you kind of get to the edge of this mushroom forest, you would see a small hill mound with what looks to be a few of these myconids stumbling about. One of them, slightly bigger than the others, notices you. Gaunt, yet still looks not muscular, but beefy for a mushroom boy. Starts kind of wading over to you like they're moving through water, kind of how their movements are. Arms never lifting up all the way, like they're pushing through the air. And this pale myconid shedding spores as they drift towards you. A voice in your head emerges. Travelers. Fleshies. What brings you to the grove? I see you have another with you. And another still.
I'm gonna kind of kick Rumpadump like, that's your cue, bro.
I got lost. I wanted to come home. The eyes kind of widen. It speaks quite well. Where were you? I don't know. Gone. There were these other guys that took me, and well, I just know I belonged here. Oh. I am sorry you were taken. It is good to have you back. You should go to the Circle of Growers. Actually, let me double check, make sure it's Circle. Yes, you should go to the Circle of Growers. Across the pond. Is your company staying long? I don't know. You guys staying long?
Not if we can really help it.
It depends. We just want to find a way out of the Underdark.
And perhaps ask one of you all a few questions about some things that are going on down
Sure.
here.
Oh. I am the head of the Circle of Hunters. You may call me Lubamud.
Can we call you anything else?
It would not matter, for that is who I am.
Okay.
I will let
Lube and mud. Got it.
Mub with a B.
Okay.
It can't be easy. If you're looking for a way out of the Underdark, I would suggest questioning the Circle of Explorers. Leader Reshiru knows most of the wilds well. Did you cross anything dead on your way?
Uh,
Or dying,
lot.
even?
a lot, yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You see, I am not a hunter in the sorts that... a warrior, like your people. We don't have much of that here. We aren't made for it. I find things to help feed. Try and protect those around.
How many of these circles do you have? Circle of hunters, circle of explorers.
There are the builders, the growers, the explorers. And then there is the circle of sporers. That is who you should see with the young one. The sporling here. And then the explorers. And then the circle of masters. The newest. It is a new order. But things seem to thrive when it's slightly separated. The masters give their tasks, and we give ours. I am of the masters as well.
So the masters are all made up of your kind?
Yes. We do not have fleshies here, unless they are dead already. We have seen some like you previously, though none stay long. All are welcome.
Can you introduce us to this circle of explorers and maybe the masters too?
I have much to tend to. There is...
Or have someone introduce us?
We are quite busy, you see. The hunters... We have located a couple of threats to the entirety of the colony. A squirming worm-like creature keeps killing and eating our kind. And we cannot change it until it is dead. It will not succumb, because we are not warriors. It is stronger than anything we can command. And yet still, some of our waters have stopped flowing due to some of the plants being overgrown and not wanting to be cut back, exhausting all of the soil.
I jab Weller in the ribs. Huh? How about a killer?
Why do the plants not want to be cut back?
Plants want to grow, as it is in its nature. But if they grow too much, it will hurt the whole. As kind of gestures back. Everything depends on something. You would also notice as he gestures back, the mound is actually made up of several rotting bodies that are just overgrown with moss and mold. Bodies of animals, people. You would see bones within it.
Weller does the taking Rincewind's lead. Weller does the like the how people do the little lick and like flick on the blade, like and just kind of mumbles to himself, little light landscaping.
Does this interest you?
I mean, if you need help, maybe we can provide, depending what you need.
I have stated the needs of the colony, at least my overseeing. Yes, a worm-like creature. Keeps, is a threat to anyone who wanders out. Resides in some caves nearby. It is quite large and quite deadly.
There it is.
How large is large?
Bigger than any you see here, aside from the Zerkwoods that are living. As you would notice as he points, you would see a couple of these larger mushrooms standing 20, 30 feet tall, slowly swaying and inching across the forest floor. Not that big, but bigger than you. Or you.
And would the Circle of Explorers be able to give us more information? Perhaps are they the ones that have encountered this worm-like creature that you speak of?
I am the one who has encountered it.
Oh, great. So we can just talk to you. All right, fantastic. How close is the cave that this thing resides in?
Not but a mile or so out. It hunts in darkness. Camouflaged most of the time.
Camouflage how?
It can blend in quite easily. Much like if I stood still, you wouldn't notice that I wasn't what I am.
So it's only a mile out. What has been effective in your defense against it?
Nothing. It kills
It just
anything that
keeps
gets
getting
close.
closer and closer and closer.
Its territory is slowly encroaching upon the wilds you see here.
Anything else you can tell us about what it looks like, or
Has anyone
Does?
confronted it ever?
I have sent many creations against it.
And none have returned.
None have returned.
Be a theme down here.
It is long like a worm, with some odd mouth on its front face. Fleshy like you all, but not standing, as it has no legs.
Now, you confused me when you specified front face. Does it have a back face?
Not that I have seen,
Okay.
although it wouldn't be unheard of.
any chance I would potentially recognize the creature by its description? Know maybe what it's talking about?
They're not the best at describing things, so give me a nature check. I'm gonna say the DC's pretty high though. But
If
you
it
do have a
had
huge
an
bonus.
ass face, he would have let you roll at advantage.
And that one,
Oh.
it wasn't meant to be. You've never seen or heard of these things, and especially with the poor description he's giving. But I would need its carcass back for reanimation. Take it to Basidia. One of the two sovereigns. Basidia is at the Circle of Masters.
Okay, hang
Wait.
on. Let's roll that back a little bit.
Yes.
We're gonna get more to the Basidia and the Circle of Masters.
Of course.
Reanimation. Expound on that a little bit, if you would.
Oh, for a protection. Using its body. The muscles are all still there. They just need to be controlled.
I'm guessing, oh, you weren't there. You met another drow lady who was doing stuff like this too.
A drow
would-
could do such things. A fleshy, unlikely.
Weller kind of just mimics and says, "A drow could do such things."
She didn't seem entirely flesh like us, so I'm not too sure if what exactly she was.
It was more
Did you guys?
flesh like me.
Did y'all come
I
across another
guess.
hag?
I see.
No, she did. She
No.
did look like a little bit like more like fungi, but not in. But this was weird. She looked more like a drought, and but still something different about her.
She was like me and didn't like to breathe.
That doesn't offer any sort of clarification.
No,
None necessary. It just kind of zones out, looking out beyond into the wilds where you came from.
All right. So let's go deposit Rumpadump with the circle of spores.
and let's get that monster.
Oh, wait. One more
Oh.
question.
Yes.
Are you expecting us to bring back this big thing's carcass, or can we just like let you know if we took care of it and you guys can go pick it up?
That's a good
'Cause what if
point.
it's like really heavy?
That's a really good question.
Wouldn't it be better to bring Mojave to the mountain?
I don't understand the words that this fleshy spoke, but
We
it
loved
would
it,
be
Rincewind.
beneficial if it were brought back here to Basidia.
Well,
Oh
no
yeah, we were
shit.
going to get back to that.
If this
Basidia.
task is impossible, I would not ask it of you.
Well, I mean,
If you feel you are not up for it, I would
the
not ask it.
painting of impossible is a pretty broad stroke. So, but I mean,
we've
it's not. It feels like, after the killing, or, the unliving of this giant worm thing. Now the monumental task of having to move something that's much bigger than we are, but smaller than that mushroom over there,
Yes.
seems daunting. So, I mean,
I am aware of the limitations of your flesh.
okay, thank you. That doesn't
uh,
smack as backhanded at all. But what I'm trying to say here is that maybe many hands make for light work, and you could get some of your colony to come lend a hand, and we could all move it together.
Like perhaps the circle of hunters that go out looking for dead things that,
Word.
you just told us about.
The one that I am a part of and leader.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ironically
Yeah.
enough, yeah.
Yep.
What a
Quinky
coincidence.
dink.
As I said, we are less about taking.
Doing things.
Okay.
But if you
How-
do bring back information and the creature is dead,
Maybe that
We could
circle
aid.
of builders then could build something to make it move.
No, I think he's making a really good point. If we just kill the thing and come back and tell him, hey, sorry, we didn't bring it back, but it's dead. Go get it if you want to. He's saying like they wouldn't have another choice. They would go get it.
exactly.
Okay.
okay, then let's
Alright.
do that.
That's equitable.
Oftentimes in this existence, choices are thrust upon us.
That leads me to my next point. Not to thrust the choice upon you, but what is in it for us exactly.
You would have my thanks. I
So
would
that's
tell
one choice, and then the other choice is.
I would tell Sovereign Basidia about it as well.
And who is Sovereign Basidia? I said we were going to get back to that after the whole front face thing.
One of the two sovereigns. Leading
So-
us into the future.
Oh, don't like this. Don't like this one bit. This smacks of a cult.
And
Oh, no. The future is the colony.
Uh-huh.
Sovereigns must lead it.
Uh-huh.
They are grown special.
Yeah. Has anybody promised you any flavor aid?
what
Or some Nike
do
Air
we
Maxes?
gain out of all of this?
I think maybe we
What is
should
a
be
sovereign?
the word around until we get out of here.
What can a sovereign offer us?
I am unaware what Sovereign Basidia or Sovereign Philo could offer you. I am not
I-
them,
But
and I haven't spoken to them about a reward for fleshies.
Hey,
Can you
yeah, look,
Go ahead, Rich.
as I'm staring at this giant
ahead.
mound of rotting flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you go ahead and, take your time with that, and I think we shouldn't push the issue so much.
Oh, by all means. Wasn't trying to disturb you. Merely, you asked help of me to introduce you. And I told you I was busy trying to figure out a way to deal with my problems. The flowing of the water, and this beast. But I understand if you are too busy, and I would not take it as a slight, as your kind might.
Oh, yeah. So, what do you think? Well, do you think
Just- real quick, just for posterity's sake, could you run me through the hierarchy down here? Because you've mentioned like a circle of masters, which I would equate to like being higher ranking, but then also sovereigns that are leading you into the future.
The sovereigns lead all, specifically with the way that Philo has structured it lately. We have separated into separate circles, so that tasks may be done more, I believe he called it efficiently. And Philo and Basidia are the leaders of the Circle of Masters, which are the heads of each individual circle, so that we then give instructions to those specific circles. Pretty much he's saying he's middle management. And Basidia and Philo are the owners.
And the circles that they are in charge of, the two circles that they split off into, are.
No, there are many circles.
Oh, I thought you just said there was two that they
There
split
are-
them into two.
No, they have split it up into multiple circles. It
Gotcha,
used to
okay.
be one great circle.
But now you got the explorers and the growers and the builders and the spores and the masters.
Yes.
Okay.
And hunters, which I am
Yeah.
leader of.
You're leader of the hunters and you're part of the masters.
Correct.
All right.
do all of the circles get along?
Yeah,
We
what are
were
the inner
all-
office politics?
We were all once, all together. Why would we not get along?
I don't know. Why? I mean, you're not all together now. What caused the schism? Circle jerks.
Sovereign Philo suggested a better way to be more, as he said, productive.
And I know you already answered this about the masters, but again, just for clarification, the sovereigns, Basidia and Philo,
Yes.
they are your kind.
Yes.
Okay.
Grown a bit larger and a bit multifunctioned.
See, there you go, saying things that don't make sense to me again. What does multifunction mean?
They were just spawned with greater purpose.
And am I correct in assuming we're not going to be able to like meet them until we kill this worm-like thing?
I would not stop you. I do not think they would either. All are welcome here in Neverlight Grove. Though, as I told you earlier, none stay too long. None of your flesh-like folk.
Is there a reason? Like, does that read as a warning?
Oh, no, do not take this as a threat. We merely don't have everything to offer that travelers would like to have. You have your tools, I believe. We don't have such things. Objects. We have sustenance. Respite. Little else.
Fair. Weather will fall back in line a bit towards Rincewind and kind of elbow him and say, "What did y'all do with Stool?"
We all watched him fall off. I mean, um, that's a story for another time, maybe. I mean,
Okay, so like we don't have him in the like bag of holding or anything.
no,
Okay.
He's
no,
in the
no.
amulet. I'm just joking.
Oh shit. If kind of stepping forward again and talking to Lube in Mud, uh, if we have come upon one of yours, that's the sound of you putting it in chat, right? I'm still going to say it wrong, even if you correct
No,
me.
you're good.
If we say that we've come across one of your kind and they fell alongside us in battle,
Our kind in
I-
battle.
I don't. Well, yeah, I'm not sure of the circumstances, but let's stick with that. We don't
Okay.
necessarily know your god or his rituals, but if we wanted to lay to rest the memory of a fallen comrade of your kind, how might we do that in a respectful manner?
Let their spores spread, so they may be born anew, or others may be born of them.
If we
Let their
don't
sustenance
have-
feed.
Yeah, I'm speaking more poetically of like the memory of.
Oh. If they are a part of a circle, then their memory is all.
Are you familiar with one of your kind by the name of Stool?
I don't think so.
You don't have like a circle of remembrance that we could like go talk to and be like, "Hey, we met this."
Since our split, the memories are split as well. I would suggest going and speaking to the Circle of Spores about this, as they have the memories of all. Or speak with the Sovereign themselves. Either one.
Okay. Well,
I would definitely advise taking this one to the Circle of Spores as well.
that
Yeah.
sounds like a good next step.
You will
Move
see
them
it
up.
across the central basin.
I know this is going to be a stupid question, but although I am from down here, I've never
Mhm.
traversed this part of the Underdark. Is is it literally a circle of you all?
Standing in a circle. Sometimes, when we all need to think as one. Proximity helps the spread of the spores.
All right. Well, Lubamub, you've been of great help. Let's go ahead and head towards the circle of spores.
Thank you for spending time to talk with me and hearing about my troubles.
We'll get to it as soon as we can, if we've got time.
Again, that would be much appreciated, but by no means required. We might eventually figure it out. It kind of nods towards you all and heads back to a few other myconids of its size along the circle and kind of like spreads the news, like exactly everything that you guys just had. You imagine it's just repeating it back to them.
Right.
Head further
Fine,
into
that's-
this place.
Circle of spores.
Circle of spores, baby.
Heading in, you can hear the light water trickling from the walls of this vast cavern as they're channeled into a crude but effective irrigation system kind of above, which you can kind of see slowly trickling down. You see or smell a thick and sweet scent filling the air from the thousands of fungi of all colors and sizes kind of hanging from that terrace above, many glowing with strange and inviting light. You would see other mushrooms above on this terrace kind of growing in strange and odd manners, almost a triangular fashion, and another kind of looks like several myconids up there kind of just trying to work with the spores and the mushrooms up there. You would imagine that might be the circle of builders. But heading to this area beyond the mud and mushrooms that spread across the cavern, and this large clear pool sits in the midst of the fungal grove. You would see a central mound seems to be the only dry spot in sight, though a small cliff rises above the cavern floor far across the clearing. Giant mushrooms visible in the distance. Bioluminescent fungi trace strange constellations along the cavern's ceiling and walls, showing the darkness of the ravine and a mist-shrouded smaller cavern beyond, above, and far away. Seeing two much larger individuals in this space across from the waters, with a few others circled around them and several of those moving Zerkwoods just kind of lowly rumbling about. But nearby, let me actually double check where this is. I don't want to lie to you guys.
Don't you do it.
Yeah. 3. But, yeah, nearby, spoke to Lubamud. You would see, yeah, a smaller mound nearby. You would see plenty of much smaller mushrooms barely moving, still connected to the ground. Some of only a few inches tall, seemingly have no awareness but still move. And you can almost watch some of them grow. And you can kind of see among this circle of much smaller, minuscule, some mushrooms or myconids, and others closer to size of Rumpadump. You would see a larger one, similar to the Lubamub, lightly kind of swaying imagine. Maybe it's, I don't know, singing or dancing to the small babies. And you would assume this is the circle of spores.
Hey guys, up ahead. I'm assuming that's the circle of spores.
I think this is where you're supposed to go, Rumpadump. You're
Ah,
home.
Okay.
Do you want to go there?
I don't know. Maybe?
You want us to walk with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll reach out and hold his hand as we walk.
I'll kind of like a little toddler. Even to you. Yeah, essentially.
I was gonna
yeah.
say, Patch says it's kindergarten. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Very much
Baby's
so.
first day of school.
Yeah.
As you waltz Rumpadump up to this swaying Myconid, without even giving any attention towards you, spores release like yellowish spores underneath this narrow cap. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Brought one back. This is good news. What are you fleshies doing here? Returning. This individual.
We encountered him, and he wanted to come home, so we helped him come back home.
That is marvelous. 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 We are hoping to expand and spread the happiness brought by the Great Cedar to everyone. We need many more sprouts. Any will be happy to have. Welcome back, little one. Just kind of keep swaying. And as you're kind of connecting, I would say Rincewind Dusk and Fungi, as these spores are connected to you, faintly hear this light music that they're swaying to. It's so faint. So faint. But just enough to where it's like you can kind of see that, not quite rhythm. It's not very rhythmic, but it does sound faintly like music. Rumpadump just kind of like, okay, what do we do here? Oh, you learn how to spread, grow, and be one. Oh, that sounds kind of good, I guess. I mean, it's... Is it okay? Oh, it's great. It's... You'll get a happy feeling. And that is what we are trying to spread. And then kind of it immediately looks towards like the new spores. And you could kind of hear a conversation. Oh, that's it, little one. Stand on up. Stand up. Rise, grow. Tell me what you're thinking. And you can kind of see this little sproutling just kind of lightly stand up like a newborn baby that's like, I don't know, half a foot tall.
No.
Rumpadump, it seems like you belong here a lot more than with us. You've gone through a lot, seen a lot of horrors. This place seems a bit of respite in the Underdark, at least for your kind.
Yeah. That doesn't sound too bad. I didn't just I don't remember anything about spreading. I don't know. But I usually try and keep everything sustainable. Keep it in balance. I know Neverlight Grove is a part of the balance. I want everyone to give me an insight check. There you go. There you go. As you're conversing with Rumpadump, you can kind of overhear this other Myconid singing. It's again with that music, as they're singing to these sproutlings. Singing about... You only catch words here and there, but with the spores still lingering on you from your rapport, which is still connected. Singing about the Great Cedar and her wedding to the Great Body, and how every Myconid is invited, bringing joy to all the world above and below, spreading happiness. And that's kind of what you would pick up from that insight. And out of the corner of Rincewind, Fungi, and Dusk's eyes, you would see a narrow pathway leading up to that top terrace. And looking up, you would see kind of near the entrance, lurking behind a pair of mushrooms, two rather large lobster-like creatures, tendrils sickly dangling down, covered in fungus themselves and moss and mold. Above on the terrace nearby. But there is a small path, and these two lobster-like creatures are kind of at the bottom of the path, just standing there. I give you a picture. I've actually shown you this picture. You've seen these before. It's two of them.
Oh.
Rumpadump will kind of lightly say, why don't we talk to the others some more, and then I'll come back to the spores, and it just seems a little weird. I don't know.
Come with us, buddy.
Yeah, a little overwhelmed. It's natural.
Yeah, there's a lot different from when I left.
I'll put my hand out for him. Just come with me again.
You'll grab it.
I'm ready. We'll be back.
Before we leave, I'll pose the same question
wonderful.
about the memory of Stool and how best to honor him.
Oh. Stool. Oh. He is gone. That is unfortunate. I believe he was one meant to be a sovereign. But now we have 2. We will continue to grow. In Stool's name. And of course, the Great Cedar. Kind of like without skipping a beat, like immediately responds to you as if they never left the conversation.
I mean, if we backtrack a little ways, we can probably go get you a stool sample.
There it is, guys.
I'll-
What is this? 39 sessions in the making.
I'll give Rincewind an inspiration for that one. But oh, that won't be necessary. We'll reach out there soon enough. We just need to grow more, faster. Kind of continues that light song you hear and just swaying the entire time. Does not stop swaying, and it's not to a beat. It's sometimes sways left twice, and it's less organized than dancing, but it's kind of dancing. Like someone who wants to dance but doesn't know how. Like the Elaine dance, but not
Oh, I know all about that.
not quite as jerky. Closer to swing. And nearby here is the largest mound. Again, probably the only dry place in the place. You would see several of these myconids in a circle. 2 of them much larger. One of them kind of pale with bluish kind of spores and shelf mushroom fungus growing on them. Like bluish pink. And the other more multicolored. And just kind of like cap just keeps going up with other kinds of mushrooms attached to them, releasing spores almost like smoke.
Okay.
As we're like walking away from the
Mhm.
circle of spores, when we get out of spore shot,
Sure. They have a much longer
would-
range.
I want to kind of like drop back to Rumpadump and just be like, does this place feel off to you? You said it's different from what you remember.
I don't know about off. It's different, and change can be scary.
Well, you heard what they said about the sovereigns and splitting off into multiple
Yeah.
circles. What do you know of the Great Cedar and the Great Body? Is that something you've heard of before?
No.
Is that like
That's
folklore
all.
down
That
here?
all sounds weird. But
Demonic.
I know a little bit about the sovereigns. Why don't... And he kind of gestures to the 2 larger ones in the circle nearby. Why don't... we can go talk to them? Or maybe... if you guys wanna... I don't know.
You think there might be some demonic influence of some kind, Miller?
Well,
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm always a little unsure of when things seem a little too good to be true, especially down here in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Also, thanks Live and Let's Die for raiding with a party of 7.
Yeah, thank you. And welcome. As we're in the middle of Neverlight Grove, mushrooms all around. But yeah, Rumpadump seems he's just taking it all in, doesn't know what to think.
All right, well, let's head towards these 2 and
Yeah,
see
But
what
there's
other information we
others
can
with
gather.
them as these. Again, there's probably like maybe over half a dozen of these large Zerkwoods standing at about 15, 20 feet tall each. That there is a those Zerkwoods, they're just kind of wandering around very slowly, like inching across the floor. They don't have feet, but somehow they're small mushroom-like root system crawling around this other larger circle.
Go see the sovereigns, I guess. I
Alright.
seem to be our best bet to knowing exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Let's do it.
The only thing I'm wondering is, if we're gonna go see their rulers, it would be better for us if we took care of their worm thing first and sort of came already, hopefully them liking us for it.
As zeros? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. I mean, Lubinmub wasn't really offering us a whole lot. I mean, what is the incentive of taking care of this worm-like creature? You know what I mean? It's
Accolades.
I mean,
Which-
perhaps they do have
Useless.
information that might help us all get topside, but we kind of need some sort of guarantee before I say we waste the time and the
Risk our
Well,
lives.
blood and bones and risk our lives to go take
mean,
care
I
of
don't-
this thing.
Think they're exactly incentivized to help us either. I mean, it kind of feels like for all they care about us, we could just end up on that heap of flesh back there, and they would be just as fine with that as if we found our way out of here.
Right.
So I think
But
that
if-
we may want to set a precedent of maybe putting our best foot forward and maybe helping them out and getting some sort of reciprocity.
So you're saying
And-
take care of the worm-like creature before we go and talk to the sovereigns?
Or at least maybe cut down some trees there, killer.
I'm a little concerned about cutting anything down in an ecosystem that thrives on life and growth, even if they did say they were overgrowing. I mean, I don't
Well, I
necessarily
mean, it
know how
seems
far to
like-
trim things back. Do they have any purple X's spray painted on any of these things?
Well, no, but I mean, I'm sure we can get some better direction about what we can cut and what we can't. I mean, it seems like as long as we can get something flowing again, they
As-
might be happy.
As you're
But
discussing this, in a mere moment, you would hear the thudding of a couple of these Zerkwood heading your way. In between these two Zerkwood, you would see one of these larger sovereigns, the more colorful one, walking over to you. Less walking like it's walking through water like the others that you've seen. Almost like growth appears at its feet as it walks, leaving footsteps of moss and mildew behind.
Oh shit! Game face
Spreading
on
out
boys.
these smoky spores around. Let's see, one of these guys, this is the colorful one, approach you. Again, two Zerkwoods at its side that are moving a little quicker than the others at the moment. Ah, friends. Friends of the circles? As this,
Not
this-
everybody's friend.
The sweet, sickly scent fills your nose.
Hmm.
Ah,
Friends of the circles. Weller says apprehensively.
well, I certainly hope so. I should introduce myself to strangers. I am Sovereign Philo. And what brings you to our, at the moment, humble, soon to be brimming with life abode?
We're returning one of your lost children that we happened to come across.
Oh, that is wonderful. Wonderful indeed.
I mean, looks pretty brimming already.
Yeah.
No,
Is this
we must
not
spread it
the
further,
standard?
thanks to the Great Cedar.
Hmm.
We will be able to more live greater.
Who's the Great Cedar, if you don't mind me asking?
Give me a persuasion check.
He does mind you asking.
The 13. Worry not. You are safe, friendly softers. You have arrived at a wondrous time. Something marvelous. You should celebrate, as the day of joy is nigh. Seeing the softer footsteps of the other sovereign walking over to greet you as well. This one seems to have like an angry look on its face, but drooping as it walks. I see. Hello, softers. You have met Philo. I am Sovereign Basidia. We should welcome you to the Grove. And Philo would say, again, this is all through the spores, the smoky spores surrounding you. Oh, I was just telling them about the Great Cedar. Living beyond the garden. And answer any questions you have. She... well... is bringing many gifts. As I said, the day of joy is close and upon us. Will you be staying?
What exactly is the day of joy? Is that the wedding day?
Oh, so you already know. That is wondrous. Yes,
Well,
the
technically,
wedding
I guess
day.
I don't know. I'll assume that somebody told me.
We are preparing as we speak. Or they are. She will make a lovely bride.
To whom?
What did I say earlier?
The great body.
The great body. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And afterwards, we will thrive. We will more than survive. We will bring joy and wonderful feelings and, dare I say, even ecstasies to those who deserve it. We'll bring happiness to those who don't deserve it. Everyone, after all, really does deserve to be happy.
Mandatory fun.
Right.
Weller wants to make a
Use the
check
seabird.
to see if any of this lines up with anything that I know about Neverlight Grove.
Give me a history check.
Good old. God, I am not smart.
I mean, with an 11. From what you heard about Neverlight Grove is there's mushroom people living there. So far it checks
yes.
out.
This checks out. Nothing suspicious here whatsoever.
Well, enjoy your stay here at Neverlight Grove. If you have any questions, I'm sure Sovereign Basidia here will answer any necessary. I have something I need to tend to. But it is a pleasure to have you. And be ready for the joyous day.
No.
Should you have any more questions about the cedar, then I would recommend talking to me. It loosely gives like a smile towards you.
This was the one that looked angry?
No,
That's
that's the colorful
That's the
one.
other
Philo.
one. Okay, gotcha. Not to say they all look the same.
No.
Fun guy. Don't throw any accusations my way, all right?
So, one of your hunter told us about this creature that is.
As you would see Philo just ignoring you as it walks away. And Basidia looks towards you though. This pale, purple brimmed large mushroom, standing at about 10 feet tall. Yes,
So-
I am sorry for Philo's departure.
That's fine. What if we were to take care of it? What would we get in return?
To take care of what are you
The-
referring?
The creature, the worm that I've heard one of your hunters said is attacking you guys or
Encroaching
Encroaching
upon
in
your
the territory.
area. Yeah.
Oh. I was unaware. You would have my thanks. As sovereign, one of the sovereigns, you would have my thanks.
so you didn't even. Okay, this is getting strange.
So-
Come,
So real quick,
walk with me. I
real
will
quick
show
before,
you
because I'm picking up on what Casmus is putting down too. When the sovereign says, "My thanks as the sovereign," and then corrects himself and says, "One of the sovereigns," do we pick up on any kind of like animosity?
Give me an insight check.
Oh no, I'm less wise than I am smart.
But you're proficient with insight.
Yeah.
With a 10, hard to read. Being a mushroom-faced individual. Come, I will show you around. For all that this place has to offer. A guided tour, if you will. I would assume you have seen the wilds as it gestures outward to the area where you came from.
Yeah, we've been there.
Your,
And it
Oh.
takes you to a small ledge off to the side of, kind of close to the spore circle.
Oh,
Now-
before we get too far away, Casmus, I interrupted you, but were you going to ask? I know what you were thinking. Were you going to ask a question about how it didn't know about the worm-like creature, or were you
Yeah.
going to keep that to yourself?
no, he's gonna keep that to himself. He
Okay, all right,
started doing it, saying it, but yeah, he's gonna keep that to himself for
gotcha. I just didn't want to step on your toes.
now. You're good.
And Basidia kind of gestures out as you see some terraced areas over a small cliff going downward. Terraces seem quite quiet, calm. The only sounds here are soft little ploopy splashes as water drips from stalactites above onto the caps of oversized mushrooms sprouting from the mushy earth. Down there is the circle of explorers on the southern terraces. They are the ones who have gone near and far, only a temporary home. But And it kind of doesn't lean in, but you can see this creature's spores intensify. Almost as you feel a warning coming. Do not linger, or it would spell your deaths.
Linger where?
Here. It is not safe for fleshies at the moment.
Why is that?
I mean, that giant pile of flesh right there isn't exactly inviting.
That is natural. This great cedar, I don't know what it is. I can't sense the nature of it. Philo and several others are different. If instructed to go to the Garden of Welcome, deny it, for this will save your life, unless you seek death. And I don't know what
And-
comes after.
Looking at you, fungi.
Is there any way we can
Gotta
help?
tuck my head.
Any way we can lens? However you want to say it. Those that are seem to be affected by this cedar.
You have seen them already.
Yes, but if we take care of the cedar, wouldn't they go back to their normal selves?
I do not know about this, but I have Rasharu taking care of some things, and gestures down to a small circle of explorers, which is like a very small mound. It's the smallest of the mounds. The builders speak of dreams, strange structures. Philo invited some recent fleshers that were, well, softers. I have even taken on their names. I apologize. Philo took some softers up to the Garden of Welcome, and they did not return. Looked kind of like you, and gestures towards Weller. You wish to rid us of this cedar.
If it's gonna help you out, we can look into it.
I would welcome that more than anything. It is a monumental task. One I would reward you with anything I could. Or it's something you would want. What is it you seek here?
Can you help my friends get out of the Underdark?
For that, I would recommend speaking to Rasharu. This whole new organization of circles within circles leaves us out of the loop sometimes. Leaves us missing pieces.
You have a list of people you trust.
Why would I keep a list? I do not.
No, what I mean is you have a bunch
Paper,
of
I
names
think
you can tell us.
you softers call it.
You think these circles were created to divide you all?
I don't know what the purpose of the multiple circles is. But I I don't understand it. I don't know who she is. I dare not go up there myself, for I was not invited.
So, you said Rasharu. Do you have anyone else that you trust that you can tell us that we can talk about and figure out how to help you?
I think Lubamub's spores are safe still. But
Rasharu.
again, communication is limited. Sparse among the circles.
Rasharu and Glubimog, we could probably start with them, talk with them, figure out how we can help you guys.
If you do wish to investigate this garden, I would welcome it, but I would not ask you for something you are not willing. I am
Well, if we need help,
capable of making different concoctions of things.
Jazz?
Out of curiosity, the ones that came here before that you said looked like me, how many strong were they?
Only a few.
And were they all of my kind?
Yes. All of them. I think
How
there were 3 or
often-
4.
How often do you see my kind here in Neverlight Grove?
Not very. More often we see the littler ones and kind of motions towards Turvy.
Did they give any indication of what they may be here for? Were they searching for anything, or
They
did
said they
speak
were
of
on
any
the
events?
They said they were on the trail of someone. I do not get in the fares of softers. It is often unwise.
So, you're calling us softers, and we met, and others we met are calling us fleshies.
Yes. Philo likes to refer to your kind as fleshies. And it is spreading. A term that is spreading. I would not think much on those words. Beware the cedar.
Just one more question about my kind.
Of course.
And I'm sorry if you've said this before. How long ago did they appear here?
Just a couple of cycles. Which would be
Does-
their
I was going to
term
say, does
for
the cycle mean anything?
2 days.
Okay. Huh.
Trying to get ahead of something. I am uncertain. If you have any doubt of what I tell you is true, please accept this as a sign of friendship. And kind of pulls out a moldy scroll case from, like, along its side that you didn't see before because it just blended in. This, like, blue covered mold. Hands it out to you.
I'll reach out and take it.
Perhaps this can aid you in your travels. If you do plan to stay long, do not go with Philo. If you do investigate this garden, Be careful. And if you are seeking a way up, speak with Rasharu. They know most of the caverns far and wide, and are used to sightseeing.
Keep an eye out.
I can't stay away for too long. Philo will suspect something. And he kind of gestures up to the terrace where you had seen the builders, like he's trying to show you something. Pretend that I am showing you the builders. Yes, like that. Very good. As he just kind of gestures up towards them.
Well, it will not.
But I would welcome you. And though Philo may, I don't know the intentions, and I don't think they are good. I don't think they are good for softers or fleshies. Is there anything else I could help you with while you are here?
Given the way that your kind communicates, where might be the safest amongst you to talk amongst ourselves out of spore shot, for lack of a better term?
Down by Reshiru would be fine. Any of the lower tiers. There are usually less myconids around.
And
And
again,
would
you
Reshiru overhear us, or you're saying Reshiru is to be trusted, obviously?
Reshiru has been away for some time. I don't think that they are affected yet. Do not trust the Zerkwoods either.
the trees have ears. How I
Yes. You must go be one with the Circle of Masters now. Should you need anything, I will do my best to help you. Should you help me, I will try to do more. This grumpy giant mushroom guy gives a nod to you all with its large mushroom cap and slowly drifts back towards the large circle of masters.
let's head down to Rasharu's. If it's the safest place to talk among us.
As you head down to the southern terraces, stretching lower, probably the lowest side of the cavern in here. You would see only a singular myconid standing in this small mound, staring out, and very slowly glances around, like just scanning for something. Or planning, you're unsure. It gives you a nod from afar, and just stares at you from, like, I don't know, 100 feet away. Not that it can hear you, just that it acknowledging your presence, and that is Reshiru. But they are not losing sight of you while you're on these lower terraces.
Well, we probably want to talk to Rashiru being the head of the circle of explorers, get a little more information about this
What
garden
you guys
of
all-
welcome and the worm-like creature. But before we go any further, maybe we need to debrief a bit as a group.
Yeah.
There's something really fucking weird going on down here, right?
The Cat's supposed to look at the dusk Rincewind and Fungi. Didn't the drow talk about something that was important, like like some kind of festival that was gonna happen in the grove? I feel like this might be the wedding that she was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if
I
she
mean,
if
it
she
doesn't
knew
sound-
about it, then she's probably involved.
Well, I don't know
Somehow.
how involved she was, because she didn't know what the celebration was even going to be about. She just said that I think they were
Yes,
planning a celebration.
But couldn't that be a ruse?
Would you all say that she was more fungi, no offense,
Yes.
than drow?
Yes.
Yes. Very much.
That seems troublesome. I don't know our kind to necessarily turn into these mushy people.
And
Also, I don't know if you all picked up on the drows that were down here looking for someone.
Yeah.
Turvey will kind of pipe up. Why don't we just move on? I don't know if they've got their own things going on here. It's seems I don't understand mushroom politics, but it doesn't sound good, whatever it is.
My main concern is if it's demonic, I can't really just sit idle.
Yeah, Turvey, you've been with us long enough, buddy. You kind of know that every place that we're going, we're coming across things that kind of suggest there's some
Right,
sort of
right.
corruption going
I
on.
was just throwing it out there because just it's always
Yeah.
one thing after another, and it's a lot.
Here's the thing I hate to break to you, buddy. We're gonna probably end up heading to Blingenstone, and shit's gonna be bad there too. So maybe the more we learn as we go along, the better armed we are as we venture into these new places.
Right. Heck. Getting away from Blingdenstone for a while is probably fucked too.
It's real weird that you said heck and then fucked. I guess it was like PG-13. You get one, huh?
Yeah, only one per like 12 lines, something like that. And Rumpadump will kind of pipe up. Well, I mean, if what that sovereign said was true, then I don't know what's happening either. Maybe those weird guys that I was with were kinda in the same way. I don't know.
Or were they sane and left?
Maybe.
Yeah, give us a refresher. Tell us more about those guys.
Or they did a lot of dancing. It was real weird.
Oh, that's right. I was on the necklace for that
And
too.
then they teleported through mushrooms. They said it was her gift. I don't know who she is.
Perhaps the breeder.
The
Great Cedar?
I guess that would make sense.
This is getting...
potato, mushroom,
We
mushroom.
we have to get to that garden,
Oh, okay.
but if what the sovereign said and it's the last one that went up there, we're not seen again.
Yeah.
It's risky. I could maybe try to go up there invisible, but I don't know if they can see me or not.
It seems pretty risky to go up there alone.
Yeah, you'll probably die.
Yeah, you'll probably die.
But then you get to come back, maybe. They do that here, I think.
Yeah.
Oh
no
yeah, we could
offense,
take you
Rumpadump, but
to Lubin and have you reanimated.
no,
That'd be great
no,
for you.
no offense, but if I die down here, just leave me dead.
Only a sovereign can bring someone up like that.
Just leave me dead.
Okay.
So, just as a quick recap, we've got the Great Cedar, who there seems to be something going on with that. Rumpadump is kind of unsure of the whole circle of growers or circle of spores. That's what we talked to, right? Circle
Yeah.
of spores.
Yeah.
This, I'm assuming you're kind of telling me that this doesn't line up with what you know of Neverlight Grove.
Yeah, we were all connected first. When I left, they were... I don't know.
The Sovereign seems like something's up. And there's a worm-like creature that we might need to kill. Is that about sum it up for everyone?
Yeah.
Which
and
sovereign?
Which just sovereign, she, whatever.
The
did
city,
not
yeah,
know
that's the one
about-
that, yeah. That's what
Did
we
not
were talking
know
to.
about the worm.
Yeah. He knew that there were tasks, but he was saying because everything's so separate now, there's less connection, so not everyone knows everything like it used to be. And so that's kind of weird. But that's how things have been for a little bit now, apparently.
Oh, and also there were drow that were probably looking for us if
Yeah.
I had to venture a guess.
And the Garden of Welcome is apparently on that terrace, where you saw the pathway going up with those two Chol creatures.
And that's where the drow went to
Mm-hmm.
and didn't return from.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I mean, not to brag, but us drow are pretty capable. So for us to venture somewhere and not return sounds a little ominous. All right.
And
Anybody else got anything they want to toss in before we go talk to Rasharu?
for anyone to disappear like this is unusual.
Well, to Rumpadump's earlier point, it could be one of two things, right? They died, or maybe they teleported through a mushroom. We still don't know how all that works.
That's true.
All right. Well, I think we make our way over to Rasharu to have a little chat.
As Rasharu is just watching you guys talking from, like, I don't know, not that they can read lips or anything, just that they're alert to your presence. As you approach this other Myconid, circle of their own, it would seem. A couple of sproutlings maybe about them that, as you get closer, would see them. They timidly look towards you and spread spores to speak. A lighter sensation than others. It almost seems like a whisper when they speak to you. Hello, Softers. What can I help you with? You have come to the Circle of Explorers. Me, Rashiru.
We were told we might know a way out, back to the surface.
Oh, you are interested in exploring as well?
More going back home.
Yes, I understand. What is the surface like?
I had to explain it if you've never seen it.
That is what they have all said. I do not know ways up all the way. There have been a few gnomish travelers that have said they have come with goods from up there. We, of course, take no part in that. I would be willing to share anything I know. Happily. But I would recommend seeking the gnomes out. They seem more knowledgeable. But I can tell you a few shortcuts to get there. Perhaps I believe you people have a language on a flat surface. Pictures. I have seen this. Maps, they are called, yes?
Yeah, we have a map.
I understand how these
Take
work.
it out.
I can warn you of the dangers on your journey. And it'll kind of put its finger in some mud, start making some markings on your map. Oh, this is close. I understand this one. The fish people. We don't see them often.
Might not see much more of them.
Oh. Are you worried as well?
I don't know if worried is the right word as much as
They may be gone.
We are...
solemn.
Oh. We are being watched.
By who?
Kind of looks around. Everyone. No one? You might be being watched. I can't say for certain. But trust no one. Save Basidia. In the grove.
You know what, Rasharu? You strike me as a Myconid in seek of adventure.
Oh, I will not be staying long, do not worry. I will not be here for this celebration.
What do you know about a celebration?
What do you know?
Only that it isn't right. Something I would not want to be around for. Something strange. Happiness, whatever that is. I don't trust it.
How much
Basidia
know?
doesn't trust it either, and neither should you.
They did tell us so.
Two questions for you.
I will
How
be
much
as
do you
helpful as
know?
I can.
How much do you know about this worm-like creature? And how far do the spores hear?
The spores travel differently. I do not understand it. I have seen them far. More close. Pockets. Rivers of it. Faint. Worm-like creature, what is this of you speak? I know not of this. Here. I have seen worm-like creatures before. Are they purple? Do not go near the purple ones. They will eat you whole. And then some.
Lubin Mub.
Mentioned the color, though.
Yeah, Lubin Mub told us of a worm-like creature that's a threat to anyone that wanders out. Lives in a cave about a mile or so away.
Oh. I know what cave he speaks. I am sorry, I did not know what you were referring to because we are separated now. Something I am not used to with my time away. A bit
As the head
unnerving.
As the head of the explorers, have you not come across this worm-like creature? Have you not organized parties to go? Lubin Mub made reference to there were parties that were sent and none returned.
Those must have been their own craft.
Where have you been, if you've just returned?
Exploring.
Anywhere interesting?
Here and there. In the wilds. In the darkness. Unseen.
You say you know of that cave. You know what's inside of it?
Oh, yes. Worm-like creatures.
Damn it.
You would be wise to stay away. No, they won't eat you whole. They will snap your bones in two. You have bones, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I would hope so.
A weakness that... Well, I'd rather say we do not have that strength.
Hey man, I gotta be real honest with you. When I asked you about a worm-like creature and told you that there was a cave a mile away, like you didn't put two and two together, like kind of giving me the runaround.
No, I remember it from when you just said it. I was not meaning to give you a runaround. I said I recognized the cave, Phil. There are many worm creatures. I was not sure which you were referring to, and I apologize. I do not share everything with everyone. Everyone does not share everything anymore. The separation keeps things difficult.
That was kind of what I was driving at. Like, if we wanted to head out towards this cave with you, would there be a distance?
Oh, I would not be going.
Oh, you wouldn't go with us, all right.
It is not where I am to go next.
Where are you to go next?
Find somewhere safe.
Safe
And-
from what exactly?
Whatever this is. A backup, if you will. In case the grove falls. To whatever is going on here.
Have you ever encountered some of your kind that are using portals,
Yes.
traverse?
That is not how explorers work.
What can you tell us about those? Because the little guy here we found him among them,
Oh,
and he wanted to go back home.
I have not encountered them, but I know some of the spores travel that way. In one mushroom out another. I've seen it. That is why there are sparse pockets of spores. A strange, sickly kind. Not a healthy rot. unnerving. Stay
A
away
story
from
the
it.
Jedi would tell you.
As you're talking to him, you would notice that there is a small corner that looks slightly climbable up to the terrace that would avoid the path that those Chols are guarding. I think that is all I can tell you. I am sorry, but I must prepare for my journey. And hands you back the map. I have marked shortcuts, dangerous locations. Locations you might find interesting along the way to the smaller softers. It just kind of
Appreciate it.
looks up towards where the terrace of the garden is. And... Yes, I must prepare my things.
Hey, quick question as you're preparing those Chols that are kind of guarding that Garden of Welcome, which
You
is
don't
weird.
see them from here, but you know where they're at. But yes.
Okay. Kind of weird to have a garden of quote unquote welcome guarded. How long ago did those appear, or have they always been here?
Lobster-like creatures have been here for some time, though they are under the command of... Boy, I gotta remember their name. Yestabrod.
That's the name.
A different sort of leader.
Rachel.
No.
And what circle does Yestabrod belong to?
I am not certain. One that I am not aware of. I have not connected with Yestabrod in time. Many cycles. Since the schism.
Gotcha.
But I do wish you well. And I hope your time here is safe. I must go prepare.
Yeah, safe travels to you too.
As it kind of looks around before it walks away. Slowly walking down to another tier. Into a smaller cave to the south. And with a lot on your minds. And a lot to think on. This will be a good spot to end tonight. A little later, but you've talked to almost everyone in the grove now. Hope you have some idea of what awaits you here. But we'll end there tonight, folks. So thanks for watching. And we are going to actually pick up in 2 weeks because next Thursday is Halloween. And I will be away. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for
Happy
joining us.
Halloween!
Everyone have a happy and safe Halloween. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye, Twitch.
Night, Internet.
Everybody. Thank everyone.